Hey gamers, Fry9 here, back from the dead. So it's time for another Valorant First, the first balance patch. This patch ended up being mostly predictable and by community request, but there were a few surprises. First, we got that Raze nerf that the pros have been begging for so long. Raze now only gets one paint shell grenade instead of two, and it refreshes after she gets 2 kills. To keep in line with the dev commentary that we got earlier this week, they also went ahead and gave her ability audio a tune-up just to make her that little bit easier to avoid. They also cleared up a bug that might activate the secondary cluster a little early by instituting a minimum timer. That wasn't really all that unexpected, but this sort of shadow rework certainly puts Raze in a different position. For lower level players, having less access at start is surely going to feel worse. What's more, it's just not going to be possible to spam at the opening of a round like you could before. Still, the canny Raze player will be able to use that paint shell generation to chain kills in a very interesting way. In a sense, they kept Raze's old power level more or less, but hid it behind a skill gate. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to play out. The other major agent changes were to Sage. There's definitely a buff in here, but it'd be a little misleading to call it a buff in total. Basically, the players in the air above Sage's slow orb are slowed as well. This might seem like it's specifically hitting Jet, and it is, but the real takeaway here is that it's no longer possible to bunny hop through zones that should be excluded from the play zone. This is going to make Sage feel so much more secure. At the highest and lowest levels of play, you'll be able to proceed with a much greater degree of confidence as long as your Sage has properly covered the terrain. On the other hand, it's now possible to walk silently through the zone. You'll still be dramatically slowed, but you won't give off the telltale audio cue that you used to. The immediate effect of this is that the slow orb is going to get better at what it was meant to do, namely slowing, and worse at being used like Cypher's tripwire. It's a pretty decisive shift to be sure. In smaller news, melee damage is now twice as effective against the double doors on Haven and Sage's Ice Barrier. The reason for this is apparently that the devs feel that early on and in save rounds, the obstacles are too difficult to overcome without the higher power weapons used in normal rounds. A simple shift, but a welcome one to be sure. Other shifts that appeared in the patch are a little more subtle, mostly just the sort of bug and exploit fixes you'd expect from a beta, but the infamous camera gun bug was repaired as well. So how do you feel that Riot did on their first balance patch? Be sure to let us know in the comments. It seems to me that they folded a tiny bit too easily to the community on that Raze nerf, and right after they said it wasn't needed. But on the other hand, all of their changes were either very clearly positive or came with a mitigating factor that balanced them out, like Sage's weird buff nerf thing. Anyway, that's all for today, gamers. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that other nice stuff, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye now.